Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we are breaking this story down. The Las Vegas Raiders have gone out and they have signed wide receiver Keelan Cole. So what you guys are going to see here on today's show is me simply just breaking down some of the stats, some of the analysis. I'm going to get into the extra depth chart here and show you how everything ends up going down and why this is a good move for the Raiders. So if you like this move, I want you to go ahead and like the video right now. The reason why I like it, it's simply more depth, more talent for Derek Carr. So the way that the Raiders ended up going down with this one, and it was confirmed by ESPN's Adam Schefter, it is a one-year deal. I do not have the contract details yet around Cole, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assume it is the vet minimum deal. You're looking at a 1 year, $1.035 million type of deal for a 6'1", 194-pound receiver who spent last season on the New York Jets. And you know, you're going to look at some of these numbers here at 28 grabs, 449 yards, 1 touchdown. And you're like, Mitch, this guy, why should we be excited about it? He was on a shitty team last year. And you go back and you look at some of these other numbers, like in 2020, 88 targets, 55 grabs. I'm looking at the yards per catch. He did average 16 yards per reception last year. He is a good field stretcher. We'll continue to talk about Keelan Cole in depth a little bit more, but the Raiders Report is built on the back of the nation being the most insane fan base, and I love you all for it, so never forget that. I want you, though, to go ahead, and I want you to grade the signing here of Keelan Cole, and be tough, because if I've learned anything, man, the school systems today, they're way too easy. So I'm a tough grader. A is a slam dunk move. B is a good move. C is average. D is bad, or F. I want you to grade the signing of Keelan Cole. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a C grade. I think it's a average move for the Raiders. And he's not going to be somebody that comes out and is going to light the world on fire. But it is going to be a player who is going to push some of these other guys. And especially when I think of pushing players, I think of pushing a player like Bryan Edwards, absolutely. You're going to be looking at somebody like Mack Hollins is going to have some serious competition now, and even Demarcus Robinson. So you know Davante Adams is going to be your number one. You know Hunter Renfrow is probably going to be your main slot guy, let's say from a target standpoint, okay? I'm going to bet my money that Davante Adams leads the team in targets. Then I'm going to go ahead and say Hunter Renfrow is probably second in the team with targets, closely behind Darren Waller, which then kind of leaves you up for grabs in terms of, okay, who are some other receivers that could compete? Then I'd say it's Bryan Edwards for your fourth most targeted player. And then it's Demarcus Robinson, Mack Hollins, and Keelan Cole. They're all going to be battling it out. I'll still put my money on Demarcus Robinson. Just because the Raiders went out and got Keelan Cole does not mean that he is a lock to make the 53-man roster. I do think this is bad news for Dylan Stoner. I do think it's bad news for Trey Turner, Tyron Johnson, some of these other players. And with this move here, the Raiders are currently at 91 players on the roster, so they will have to go ahead and make another move. They will have to end up releasing a player. I did just put out bright and early this morning some cut candidates, 10 of them. So if you haven't seen it, then go ahead and subscribe right now to the Raiders Report, because not only is my team, whether it's Trace in the background, whether it's Coop over here producing, Chat Sports, the Raiders Report, we keep you guys up to date with everything going on around the silver and black. So if you're curious on some potential players that could be released after this move, go check out the video on the channel. I literally put it out. It was like 1 o'clock Central Time, so 11 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I got you covered here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. The reason why I am excited about this is because Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler, what they have been able to prove to me this offseason is they have this guy's back. And I'm definitely have always been a guy who's been tough on Carr. But I'm tough on Carr because I expect a lot out of DC. But you know what I like? I like my head coach. I like my general manager saying, you know what? We are going to do everything in our humanly power to make sure that DC has a successful season. If Carr's willing to take a contract that he is, and essentially he took a one-year prove-it deal, making $19 million, which is essentially what I was hoping they would do the entire offseason. And if he plays well, then yes, he can make that fat contract to $34 million, then he can make $40 million, and then so on and so forth. But to make sure that he's successful, you need good receivers. And Keelan Cole is a good receiver, and he is going to be able to add some extra depth to this Raiders offense. So, God forbid, one of these top players end up going down, you can hopefully have somebody who you can rely on to be able to pick up, key first downs, who's been in the league since 2017. Sure, he's an undrafted free agent, but I really, truly like what the Raiders are doing at these skill position players. So after looking at this Raiders wide receiver depth chart, man, I mean, this is a pretty room. So go down in the comments section right now, okay? Right now. Scale it from 1 to 100. And I want you to rate this for me. So 1, you think it's the worst receiving unit in the league. 100, you think it's the best wide receiver unit in the league. I'm not going to sit here and say 100 yet because, yes, you have Davante, the best receiver in football. You have arguably the best route runner in Hunter Renfrow. There is still some question marks that I have around Edwards. I still have question marks, obviously, around Demarcus Robinson, Matt Collins, and then even on top of that, Keelan Cole. But you know what, man? I am definitely going to probably give this 94, 95 overall room. And if Brian can play up to the level that I believe he can play up to, because I wasn't the only person that thought that he had round 1 talent. Just the injuries kind of flared up there. But if he can get those one-on-ones, if he can create separation, he's great at going up and getting the football. This wide receiver room does have a good opportunity to be very special. Now, we are also on Locals, and I've been trying to tell you guys to head on over to Locals as well. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and scan this QR code. And the reason why I like Locals is because you can get in contact with me easier. I can also check out other Locals content creators. So if you like the Raiders Report, if you like what we do around here, support the show. And a way to support the show, even on YouTube, is by going over to Locals. So RaidersReport.locals.com, or go ahead, scan that QR code. I pump out videos. I do 1 live a week, which the live videos are cool because obviously on YouTube, when we get thousands of people watching, it's hard for me to sit there and talk to every single one of y'all like a one-on-one conversation. On Locals, I can do that. So if you want to hear from me more, if you want me to answer more of your questions, please go ahead, join Locals. So the Raiders, they went ahead and they signed Keelan Cole to a 1-year deal. And I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to start rolling through some of his numbers that he has had throughout his entire career. He was an undrafted rookie in 2017, and he ended up signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the reason why Keelan Cole's got I'll say a soft spot in my heart is because in 2017, I won a fantasy title. And one of the reasons why I won a fantasy title is because Keelan Cole was my wide receiver 3. And as a rookie, he had 83 targets, okay? Started only in 6 games. He had 42 grabs, 748 yards as a rookie. Some pretty productive numbers there. He averaged 17.8 yards per catch. Then the following year, 2018 for Jacksonville, 70 targets, only 38 catches. Here's the issue. The Jags have always had an absolute shit show at quarterback, and for the first time in his career, he is going to get a reliable quarterback. And this signing, I'm not going to say reminds me of Nelson Agholor, because Agholor has a lot more talent and is a lot more of a speedy receiver than Cole. But Agholor also was put in these hard situations with quarterbacks that he couldn't really work with. This is a good move, and I've said multiple times, if I was a player that I wanted to take a 1-year prove-it deal, and I was willing to bet on myself, Derek Carr has proved that he could get you to that point, and the Raiders have proved that if you go out there and you ball out, you can be put in a good situation. So I like this move a lot, and I've liked a lot of the moves that the Raiders have had, whether it's been on the offensive side of the football, building around DC, whether it's been going out making some trades, solid drafting the interior offensive line, the defense going out and get a guy like Chandler Jones, trading for a dude like Rock Ya-Sin. I have been very pleased with this Raiders offseason, and this is my opportunity again to ask you guys. We've had a lot of different things go down here for the nation, so type that Y for yes or type your N for no. Are you pleased with the Raiders offseason? So we're going to keep on rolling here with the news around the Raiders signing Keelan Cole, and I was trying to figure out why exactly they made this move, and sometimes, you go back, you look at some of these numbers here by Cole, and we'll show you his numbers here, because last season on the New York Jets, he went up against the New England Patriots twice, and sometimes you can go back and you can look at, all right, did a player play really well against the team? And you're like, well, that guy's talented. They circle on the board. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers here. They played the Patriots in week 1. He didn't really do much. He had 1 catch for 5 yards, and then going up against New England again, he had, 1 catch for... Yeah, I mean, he barely did anything. So he did finish the season strong, though. 3 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. I'm not sitting here saying that Cole's going to have over 500, but if we could get probably very similar production than what you saw here for the Jets, you add a few more touchdowns there, for the type of contract that Cole's getting, I think it's going to be pretty good. And I like the idea that they are just putting all the chips on the table for DC. I've already told y'all that I put money down on Carr being a sleeper for MVP. I'm not saying that Cole's going to be the thing that puts him at the MVP list, but I know one thing, that this is a talented team. I like a lot of the moves that the Raiders are making, and it's going to be very interesting to see what they continue to do. So before I leave you guys today, I want you to hit that subscribe button for daily Raiders news and rumors. Turn on those notifications. And tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping a video for the Raiders schedule release. So I know that people are excited that the NFL is dropping its schedule, and I'm excited too. I can't wait to see. I don't know if I've had this much excitement around a team in a very long time. Here's the thing, though. I already have most of the schedule, and I think I might have the entire schedule before the Raiders themselves release it. So hit that subscribe button, drop those notifications, because if I do release it before the schedule comes out, I don't want you guys to miss it. And then on top of that, a video that you can expect on Friday is I'm going to go ahead and give my prediction for the 2022 season. So the Las Vegas Raiders, y'all, they went ahead, they signed Keelan Cole, and you know what? I've been finding out from people that some players, they come across these videos. So all I want you to do, if you made it this far in the video, spam Keelan Cole down in the comments and show the new Raiders some love.